Why I'm not angry at Santa. When I was little, I would ask Santa for things when writing my letter. I was a middle-class kid, and every morning on Christmas, I would usually end up getting about half of what I had asked for. Usually not the extreme stuff, and for some reason he always gave me crappy gifts that I never asked for. My parents claim this was because Santa had to spread out gifts to everyone. Oddly enough, my rich friends only got about 50% of what they asked for, but all their gifts were much more expensive. Also, my poor friends got about the same ratio of what they asked for, but they got much cheaper gifts than I did. One person in my class got nothing at all. This made me very angry at Santa, because I know that the rich kids were no better than the poor kids. In fact, many poor kids were way less bratty and spoiled. Later, I learned about St. Nicholas and found out about other mythologies of gods and people who did similar things Santa did. These are questions I asked besides the scientific properties of flying reindeer and temporal shifts needed to deliver all toys in one night, and the fact that no one has found Santa's workshop at the North Pole. I began to stop believing in Santa because the evidence wasn't there for him, and instead began to tell my parents what I wanted. I still got about 50% of what I asked for. Things were just less magical now and more practical. I realize now that the reason why I only got half of what I wanted was because my parents work very hard and can't afford it all. My rich friends' parents can afford more, and my poor friends' parents can afford less. I realize the myth of Santa propagates among children, and that adults use the myth of Santa to help control gullible children. I can't be mad at Santa, he doesn't exist. That's like being mad at a character in a novel who never existed. I could be mad at parents for lying to their children about Santa to manipulate them, or at children who should be able to figure it out for themselves but don't. But I can't be mad at Santa, he doesn't exist. My life is a bit less magical, but I'm more practical now that I'm an adult, and life makes a lot more sense. Years later, I stopped believing in God for these very same reasons, and I am not angry at God for the same reasons. Adults, however, believe in Him because of their ingrained fear of death, and will allow suffering, wars, and ignorance to prevail. I am still not angry at God for this any more than I am at Santa. If I ever appear angry, it is at ignorance.